Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Warframe Showcase video. I just want to say happy Monday. Um, if I sound weird, it's because I'm not using the usual mic that I use for these videos. I'm using my actual headset, so it might sound a little bit weird. I hope not too much, but we'll see. Anyways, today's Warframe Showcase, we're going to be going over Revenant. I'm obviously going to be using Revenant Prime, and we're going to go over who he is, how he plays, synergy stuff. He's really like top tier Warframe. A lot of people who want to run higher tier content usually mod around the second to keep them alive and stuff, but I'm not gonna go over that kind of build. I'm just gonna go over how he generally plays, show you what's up, and yeah, Revenant is a fun frame. He's really cool. So yeah, once again, I hope you all enjoy the drip because man, love it. Anyways, I am gonna be using Revenant Prime. I don't have base Revenant obviously because I got this. Let me just swap this out because I don't need it. Oh my god, I need to work on this build. Oh, I need an Umbra former, that's why. Do I have one? No, I don't. It's fine. We'll figure that out later. Okay, so he hasn't been formed. There is nothing on this one. Um, I don't have any Archons on him. Okay, we are good. Okay, so we're gonna compare him. This is base at max rank. Um, we're just gonna compare the stat differences between the base Revenant and Revenant Prime. Show you what changes, and then we're gonna go over his abilities. So yeah. Okay, so looking at base Revenant, if you want to know where you can farm him, for those of you who don't know, you can farm him over at Cetus. I think he's in the Cetus bounties. Really good Warframe. The base Warframe is just as fun as the Prime. Just some minor stat differences, which we're gonna go over here in a bit. You have to do the bounties, so just keep your eye out for Revenant pieces. You can also farm Gara in Cetus, so just keep in mind out. Those are two like really good frames that I recommend. And yeah, so Revenant to Revenant Prime. So his base health stays the same at 270. His shields go up from 635 to 825. Armor stays the same. Energy goes up from 140 to 175. And his sprint speed goes from 1 to 1.1. So he's just a bit faster than his base. And yeah, going over his passive real quick. So whenever his shields get depleted, enemies within the 7.5 meters deal 100 damage in terms of knockdown. Like a wave will go out of you when your shields get depleted, but like that will rarely happen, mainly because you're not gonna take damage with him. Um, and yeah, so his whole theme is technically like vampire-ish theme. It's a weird. I kind of don't understand the vampire part of this, but yeah. So you're gonna go to Enthrall. Enthrall, what it does is you're essentially gonna release sentient energy, much like how sentients control robots. You're gonna mind control um, an enemy. If that enemy hits someone else, they're under your control as well, and it's so on and so forth. You can have a max of like 7 or 8 enemies that are under your control. If you recast it, say you're running low on timer's running out, you recast it on an enemy, you refresh the timer, and the people that you had enthralled won't go away. You won't get 7 more, but you gotta be within the 7 or 8 people you have like under your control. That's how that works. Mesmer skin, it's very interesting. Like I said, a lot of people like to mod around this so that they can be like invulnerable with when you get hit. And yeah, give me 1 second real quick. Sorry. Yeah, so essentially what happens, you cast this, you make yourself kind of invulnerable. It's hard to say because you don't go invulnerable, like you don't get that great thing. What happens is if an enemy hits you, um, they will be. put to sleep in a way, and you can enthrall them for free, no energy cost. You refresh the timer and all that stuff. That's how that energizes. A lot of people use it. I think you have like between 5 and 8 hits, something like that. I don't use him a lot because he's like really good, but I think you get like 5 or 8 hits that you can get. I think it's five. I want to say it's five. You can get hit like 5 times, and each different enemy that hits you is gonna go to sleep, and you just enthrall them. That's pretty good. You can use the enemies that you have enthralled as sort of like Necro's shadows, where you can keep them kind of like keep aggro off you, and there's that. That's pretty much how it works. I'll show you how that plays out here in a bit. Going on to Reeve. Reeve is a really interesting ability. It's a good survivability ability. Essentially, what you do is if you hit it on an enemy that's not enthralled, you will steal health. I mean, that's gonna happen either way. But if you hit an enemy that's enthralled, you leech off shields and health like even more. You do it either way if they're enthralled or not, but it's more so when you pass through them if they're under your control. Another thing to note, did I miss anything here? No. So there's an interesting dynamic here. So we're gonna go into his fourth. Essentially what he does is he extends out his arm and he spins around. He's releasing these like um kind of like Eidolon lasers out of his fingers and he's spinning around. Thing you need to understand with this is that adapts to enemy resistances. So if an enemy, whatever they're weak to, so like let's say like you fire it off on Corpus, they're gonna be hit with like magnetic and radiation or something like that. And then you go on the Grenier, you're gonna be hitting a lot of corrosive and stuff like that. It is a very good ability. Um, it is a channeled ability. And if you hold down, like I'm on the PS5, if you hold down your R2 button or whatever button you use to fire, you can enhance that damage, but it'll drain more energy. So just keep that in mind. My God, Revenant looks sick. I like the way I customize them. Um, and that's pretty much how it is. I kind of do want to talk about. I want to give a little backstory before we get into the ability stuff. So I have a friend. His name's Uninvited. We're gonna call him Xander. This dude loves Fashion Frame. He rarely plays. Like I think it's been over like 3 years since he played. We should be playing again soon, hopefully. But this dude's super Fashion Frame. He has like some sick like Warframes. Because of him taking long customizing his Warframe, I came up with this and it was super sick. Um, I love it. I'm not saying like, oh my God, this is like my original concept, but no, this is something that like I came up with on my own, just messing around with him, customizing stuff. That's why like some of my frames are like kind of like well customized. Usually it's because I customized them when I was with him and stuff. Super cool. He's a homie, really close friend of mine, childhood friends actually. But let's move on to the showcase. So I am going to make myself invincible. I'm not gonna pause enemies. Make enemies level. Let's make them level 30, just cause. And we're gonna go up against the. I'll go up against Grenier. Okay, so as I'm gonna show you how the first plays. Y'all need to leave me alone for a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna hit this guy. At base, you have 29 seconds, and as he hits people, they're going to fall under the control. I already have 7 enemies under my control, and either they die or timer runs out. But if people die or if someone else gets hit with it, the timer refreshes. So yeah, another thing to note, when they die or if you kill them, they drop this little thing which damages enemies. Super cool. And yeah. Very useful ability. Okay, the timer's out. That's what that does. So we went over that ability. Now I'm gonna show you how the second plays out. So I hit the second, I do that, I can get hit 6 times. So that guy stuns, I can hit him. Oh, I didn't. Oh, get out of my way. I can hit this guy for without costing energy. And there you go. Cast it again. If I get hit like 6 more times. No, I won't. Yeah, so there's this. Pretty cool. Pretty fun ability. I'm gonna see if I can take it off. And also, like, you get these little tendrils on the side. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Give me, there you go. Now I'm gonna show you his third ability. I'm gonna take off invincibility. Oh, I forgot to undo this. Let me see if I can take it off right now. Okay. So I'm gonna let these guys hit me for a bit. So as you can see, I'm draining shields. I hit it. This is without the throw. I can leech shields and health. It deals some damage. But once again, if I hit my throw and enemies are there and I go through them, I take even more health and shields from them. Sort of a survivability tool if you want to heal up, or if you're in a bad situation, you can just kind of go through them. And there you go. If you're wondering what melee I'm using, it's the Tatsu Prime. This thing has an interesting ability, by the way. If you increase your melee counter, your combo counter, and you do a spin attack, you launch those little projectiles that'll hit enemies. Okay, now I'm gonna pause these guys and I'm gonna show you his fourth ability. So a lot of it is, like I said, synergized around his first. This one is pretty cool and it has a pretty cool interaction when you hit people with it first, but this is what it looks like without hitting down your fire button. A really strong ability, especially since it adapts to whatever they're weak to. And here's what's going to happen when you hold it down. So I'm going to cast it, hold down the fire button. Yeah, you deal more damage with it, so it's pretty cool. And there's that. And then I'm going to unpause. I'm going to summon the enemies. And I'm gonna throw them. Oh, I can get the energy. There you go. And I'm gonna show you the interaction that happens when you hit enemies with your fourth while they're under your control. Alright, so watch. These guys are under my control. I hit them. They usually, yeah, they drop a little orb that you can pick up, and it'll grant you overshield. So if you're in need of getting your shields up, you can simply just hit that, hit them with your fourth, and they get that little orb. I'll just let it spread around for a bit. There you go. As you can see, my ability went up, and my shields went up. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty much how he plays. We're gonna go into the modding section right now here real quick. How we're gonna mod him, and I say this every video because I need people to understand I'm not like a meta builder. This is meant for people who are barely picking up Revenant. This is meant for people who are curious about Revenant, and still help people like new players and people who are going through the game. If you're already like complete the whole game, you're up to date with the quests, you're like in the late game content stuff, this isn't for you. By then you should already know how to build and stuff. This is just to help new players. So there's that. If you see me use any sort of prime mods, set mods, prime mods, you can keep your Alpha Barrel Keteer. He comes every other Friday. Um, set mods, you can farm certain set mods in Cetus, Fortuna, and Deimos. If I use a prime mod, don't feel bad because you don't have a prime mod. You can use a base mod, it's just as good. It's just the prime mods double whatever value the base mod is, you know? And if I'm using corrupted mods, because those are easy to get, you need to be part of a clan. You need to um, build a corrupted hollow key, and then go to Deimos, preferably with a squad, and farm the Deimos vaults. Each corrupted hollow key will have a negative effect on you. Either you'll move slower, you'll do less damage, you'll have less health, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, alright? Let's get on to the build portion of this video. Give me 1 second. Okay, so knowing what I know about Revenant, knowing he uses a lot of energy, how would I approach him? Right off the rip, I'm gonna go with uh energy siphon. If you don't know how to get an aura mod, you can either well, there's a way to farm them, but it's kind of like complicated, at least for me. The best way you can get a hold of aura mods is by keeping your eye out at Nora Nightwave's like cred shop. She usually has some augments. She will have some augments and some um, aura mods. Aura mods benefit the whole squad and they stack, so keep in mind what you want to bring to your squad. Alright? So with knowing everything that I have now, I am gonna go with Vigor for survivability. I'm gonna go with Flow for energy, Continuity for duration. I'm gonna go with Intensify for strength, because you want to get the most out of your fourth ability. And then I think it also affects the damage output of like your mind control targets. I think. Um, we're gonna go with Transient Fortitude for more strength. And then, so we have survivability, we have that stuff. Um, we're gonna go. You could go with the range on this, but I don't like too much range on him because there's really no point. He already has a lot of range as it is, so I'm gonna go with some more duration. Where is it at? I'm looking for it. Augur message is what I want to do. There you go. Go with that. Let's see, we have that. Could we add some more strength? In terms of base mods, probably not. Um, these other two areas, you can make them whatever you want. Um, but for an example, I guess I will add. Mm, nah. I guess I'll give him some range. Why not? Just to cover everything else. What else? I'll do this for more range. So that's, I guess that's roughly what you want to go with. Like I said, these two mods, you don't really need range on him because he doesn't need it. But this is just placeholder for now. This is kind of a template you'd want to follow. It covers everything. You have your stats in the positive, so there's that. Um, and as you can see, his health has gone up, shields, armor. You can add like armored agility if you want. You're gonna go down that route. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Let's show you how that works. Spawn the enemies. So you can hit enemies further away. And your duration, because you have continuity, lasts longer. Wow, they murdered that guy. I had it for like 44 seconds. Second ability is just a way to keep yourself up. It's a good way to leech things off. And your third ability does have more range when you use this. And gonna show off the fourth ability real quick. Um, just doing this. Yeah, very strong Warframe. And as you get into like higher level content, which I think I might do something that might be spoiler, just show them off. Yeah, very good Warframe to use. No, I don't think I'm gonna do the because I want to go to certain tile sets to show them off like higher level content, but trying not to keep this. I'm trying not to spoil anything, so yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get ready for the live demonstration. I'm gonna swap over to my build, go over that here in a bit. This concludes this part of the video. Once we get into the live demonstration, there's a possibility for me to yap. I already showed you how everything synergizes, so I might just chill, talk to y'all, and you can see what I'm doing to have an idea of how you want to play Revenant. So yeah, be right back. All right, I am back. We did something. So I'm gonna show you all what I'm running. I just forward him right now because I don't like having that empty slot.
If I may say, operator,
And
your
I'm
chosen
gonna go
Warframe
over what I'm
suits
going with
you.
right now.
Ha ha.
Obviously, I need an Umbra Former because I do have a build that I want to make for him, but I don't have the Umbra Former right now. So here's what I'm running: Energy Siphon, Umbral Intensify for Intensify, Umbral Vitality for the health, Transient Fortitude for the strength, Continuity for duration, Mars Hatred for more strength, Flow for energy, Augur Seekers for more strength, and I have this augment that I'm liking. Um, Basically, you gain damage per each enemy that's hit by Thrall, that's enthralled. So that's what I'm gonna be running with here. I'm running Molt Augmenter for more strength, just cause, and I'm running Molt Reconstruct to keep myself up while I cast abilities. You could swap this out for anything else, but this is something that I feel like running with. So there's that. Let me double check if there's an invigoration because I haven't checked in a minute. No, nothing good. Okay, no, we're good. So what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna go friends only. Um, hmm. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. Might be a weird cut, but trust me. Alright, so we are in this place I've been wanting to come for a while. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because I did form on myself, so I have nothing boosted. Everything is like low rank, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I don't get messed up. Oop. I give it a second to keep it up. Right now I'm trying to get the Phantasma Prime, but like what I had done is what I do? What I had done was sold like most of my Prime stuff, like the blueprints and stuff, to bro. You know what? I sold a lot of my Prime stuff for the ducats. Right now I'm sitting at like 4,000 ducats. I'm gonna be farming for Prime stuff again. Super cool. And yeah, I'm excited for the new update when it comes out because we're closing in on the date real quick. I need to sit down and customize my operator for the update, which I'm probably gonna do on my own time. And super excited for that stuff. I do want to say there needs to be a balance in which how long you keep your friendlies up, so you're able to replenish the the what now? The enemies that are under your control. They're all gonna like die soon, so. I'm telling you, he's really strong. He's really good. It's a fun Warframe. One of the reasons I like that I started doing the Warframe showcase, because it's been a long time that I wanted to do something like this for the game. So I do know a lot about it. I've played the game since 2012, 2013. 3 weeks since The World Within came out, and I didn't even know what was going on. And my best friend that I told y'all from earlier, who got me into the game, he was super into it at the time, and then like as time went on, he played different games, and now I'm the master.
My Warframe is strong.
My brother tried getting me into it too, but I didn't like it at the time. Cause my brother was like he's an OG player. He just didn't get like the Founders Pack. He tried getting me into it, and I didn't like. Wasn't into it at the time, so I didn't understand what it was. And yeah, now here I am, like, what is it, like 11, 12 years later playing the game? Maybe even 10 years, I don't remember. I've been playing this game for a long time. I have a lot of stuff that I have, like, knowledge-wise that I want to bring down. But I've seen how crazy the community can be when it comes to certain builds, because, not good stuff. So when I do something related to builds, I always have to emphasize that this isn't for like late game players, because there are people who like meta build, and if you you're just trying to learn the game and stuff, it's gonna be hard, because people are gonna be like, oh my god, don't listen to this guy, his build sucks, blah blah blah. There's some people in this game who take their builds really seriously, and there are people who just copy other builds.
Corpus forces retreating. You did good.
Never understood why though. Learn. You get a certain satisfaction from this game building your own way, figuring it out on your own. Super cool. Anyways, I hope you saw how to play him. Essentially, you just keep your second up your survivability. Keep your first up. If you need to heal, hit your third, and if you're surrounded by enemies, hit your fourth. Really fun Warframe. Highly recommend you check him out. If you can farm, if you're having a hard time farming him on Cetus, you can farm the Prime if he's available. Really good stuff. Highly recommend this Warframe. Really fun, really solid. And I will catch you all next week. What are we gonna cover next week? It's Revenant. Is there another R frame? No, I think the next frame is Saren, which is gonna be another good frame, because she's my favorite, and I have 2 different builds for her, so fucking love her. My go-to. Anyways, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you all later. Peace.